Hello everyone and welcome to the video, and today we're going to be talking about the best gold making methods in Diablo 4. So I'm going to be covering a couple of these, and what's nice about it is that you can combine all of them to make the maximum amount of gold. This is probably the best way of making gold in the most practical fashion. There are faster ways of making gold, like if you're clearing Nightmare 100s or killing Uber Lilith for people, you can charge like 10 million for an Uber Lilith kill for 3 different people. It's like 30 million done in a minute, so obviously that's an absurd amount of gold, but you need a specific character with a specific build to do that efficiently. Like Bone Spear, for example, you could do it pretty easily on Bone Spear, but also you still have to have an outstanding build with pretty much max rolls and everything you'll need. So that's not exactly practical, and we're just going to be talking about the more practical methods. But essentially the gold making methods that I'm going to be showing you guys, if you combine them all, which is what I do, you make about 72 million gold an hour. Obviously this fluctuates, and I'll explain that in a little bit, but a lot of this does require having Discord and being in the Diablo 4 main Discord. So we're going to get into the first method, which is what I'm doing in this clip right now. It's called boosting people. So a lot of times people have a lot of gold and they're trying to rank up different characters and they will pay you. And what I like to do is there's a glitch currently where you were able to reset Nightmare Dungeons. So this is a tier 54 Nightmare Dungeon for Blind Burrows. Blind Burrows is a great dungeon for XP. It's probably the most popular one going around right now, and you can actually buy a copy of it in one of the wanna sell boosting channels. People sell copies of the tier 54 with Magic Find. You can buy it for like 500k. So essentially once you get that, you are going to post that you are looking to sell some runs in it. And I like to charge 7 million for 5 runs or 14 million for 10 runs. I'm able to do 10 runs in 1 hour, which brings me up to 42 million if I have a full party. That's 42 million an hour just off of this alone. So that's really good. This obviously is very dependent on how fast you can farm this. If you can't farm it that fast, obviously like 6 minutes per run is pretty quick, and especially since that's a full clear. But you could probably charge a little bit more for full clears, or you can charge the same amount or maybe even less and do like 80% clears, or just try to do it as fast as possible, because there are some people that aren't really interested in the drops. They're more interested in the fastest XP and glyph XP. But efficiency is definitely going to be your best friend in this. If you want to make the most amount of money, you really want to be as fast as possible and as efficient as possible. So now we're going to talk about the next gold making method, and this one also relies on the Discord. So in the main Discord, they also have a want to sell section, and in this section people are going to be selling rares. So obviously for ancestral rares, you are able to trade them, and if they have really good rolls, you can sell them. Obviously there's different prices for literally everything, but what I like to do during these 10 runs that I run in an hour, I usually get a decent amount of gear that is solid that I believe I can sell. So essentially what you're going to want to do is, if you see something that's solid, you're just going to pick it up, keep it in your inventory, and then just try to stack as many as you can, put them in your storage for as long as you're boosting people, and then at the end you're just going to sell them. But I don't think it's very difficult to get about 25 million gold's worth of items to sell in an hour, and so that's going to bring our total up to 67 million in an hour. Now you could get lucky with this, and if you get like a really good amulet or a really good one-handed weapon or a wand or whatever, you know, your main weapon is for that character, a lot of times people will pay ridiculous prices for these kind of things. I've seen swords that have gone for 500 million, and if you get a truly perfect item, you could sell it for insane amounts. But you just want to be aware of what you have and kind of the prices on things. I can't really go over the price on everything because, you know, some people will pay a lot more for certain things because it might fit their builds. But like I said before, it's not exactly hard to make 25 million off the auction. All you have to do is get 5 somewhat decent items for somebody to pay 5 million for. It's not too hard, and you could definitely do it. But as I said before, this brings our total up to 67 million. And the last method, which is just something you should be doing the entire way through all of these runs, is just picking up literally everything that drops and then selling it. And you're going to make about 5 to 700k gold doing this after every single run. We're going to go with the lower end and say 500k. And if you do this for the 10 runs, you're going to make 5 million off that, which brings the total up to 72 million. That is how we get to the 72 million number. I'm not just throwing out a random number and clickbaiting it. This is a legitimate amount of gold that you can get and that I have gotten. I've even gotten more. I've probably made well over $1 billion doing this, and it's very efficient. If you were to do this for 5 hours straight, which, I mean, your brain might melt if you did it for that long, but regardless, if you did it for that long, you'd be making 360 million. That's not bad at all. And you could also put an asterisk next to that because it literally only takes one really good roll on a weapon or an amulet or a ring or something. One good roll and you could sell that item for like 100 million plus. And whereas that is not very common, it's definitely not impossible, and I have sold items for more than 100 million before. And if you guys watched through this entire video and you still feel like these methods aren't really for you, if you don't want to do the Nightmare Dungeon glitch, which is totally understandable, I'm not sure if you'll get banned for it. I've done it more times than I can count, so if anyone's getting banned, I'm first in line. So I can't technically recommend that you guys do the glitch because there is a chance that you get banned, but I just want you to know that I am doing it, and if anyone's getting banned, it's me. But regardless, if you don't want to do the glitch, if you don't want to do anything involving Discord, boosting, or selling, then there is obviously probably the slowest method, but it's easy to do, and you could do it at any point in the game. You can do it by yourself, it really doesn't matter, but just running certain dungeons. There are dungeons that have a lot higher drop rates. For example, Ulder's Cave. Ulder's Cave drops 700k worth of loot every single run, and you can clear it in about 5 minutes as well. So you can just clear Ulder's real quick, and you could also do the same thing with Ulder's. If you don't want to do the Nightmare Dungeon glitch, you can run Ulder's, and you know, it might be a little bit harder to find somebody that's going to pay for Ulder's runs, but there definitely are people that are out there that'll pay for them, and you just charge like 500k per run, and that way they make money off the runs. So obviously that's a much slower method, but it's also a legit method that does not involve doing anything that you're probably not supposed to be doing. But definitely, if you guys are not already, check out that auction place in the official Diablo Discord. It is very helpful, and it's probably where I've made the most amount of my money. I mean, just randomly playing the game, like just boosting people and randomly getting like an insane amulet that you know is very good but you don't need because you might already have an amulet, or you just it's slightly better than the one you have and you'd rather sell it. Like, you can make so much gold off of that, so just keep an eye out. I was so upset when I first found out about the auction place because I had probably quick sold so many items that could have gone for 20+ million, and I just quick sold them for like 20,000 gold. So it's something you guys should definitely be aware of, and you know, check it out, especially if you have a stash full of yellows that you're just sitting on and doing nothing with. Put them on the auction. You'd be surprised how much they can probably go for. But that's pretty much it for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.